The matriarch emerges from the golden grass, her skin burdened by an unseen, agonizing weight. Deep within the folds of her neck, thousands of engorged ticks have established a permanent colony. The infestation spreads relentlessly, reaching the base of her ears and the sensitive tissue around her eyes. Every crevice along her shoulder blades is choked with parasites. Thousands. In the groin area, the skin is raw, inflamed, and completely overrun by the parasite mass. The irritation becomes unbearable. She begins to shake her massive head in a desperate, failed attempt. Seeking relief, she approaches a sun-bleached acacia, rubbing her shoulder against the rough, splintered bark. The friction offers only a brief distraction. The parasites hold fast despite the abrasive force. She drops to her knees to coat her skin in a thick layer of fine, powdery dust. The dust settling into the folds provides no respite from the persistent, burrowing irritation. Driven by exhaustion, she wades into the shallow, murky waters of the delta's edge. The water fails to dislodge the infestation, leaving her distressed and visibly weary. She stands motionless, her struggle against the parasites seemingly reaching a futile end. A sudden, sharp flutter of wings breaks the silence as a flock arrives. The red-billed hornbills descend, circling the matriarch with inquisitive, sharp-eyed precision. They land cautiously, testing the stability of the thick, parasite-ridden folds. The matriarch freezes, sensing the unfamiliar movement across her sensitive hide. A bird probes the deep crevice behind the ear, its beak seeking the first target. Thousands of ticks remain embedded in the tough, cracked dermal layers. Thousands. The hornbills work in unison, targeting the base of the trunk and the thick neck skin. Each precise pluck brings immediate relief to the irritated tissue. The matriarch shifts her weight, her breathing slowing as the frantic biting ceases. A distant alarm call rings out. The flock scatters into the air, momentarily halting the work. With the danger past, the birds return to their persistent task of clearing the skin. Slowly, the dense red clusters begin to thin across the elephant's flank. The birds focus their efforts on the final, stubborn patches near the joint. Only a few isolated parasites remain, easily plucked by the patient cleaners. The skin is now remarkably smooth, the deep creases clear of the previous burden. A final scan reveals the transformation is complete. The matriarch stands unbothered. The matriarch stands still, her heavy breathing now rhythmic and deep, signaling a profound relief. Her eyelids droop halfway, a clear sign of the tension leaving her massive, weathered frame. Nearby, the red-billed hornbills remain, perching calmly on her back, their plumage vibrant in the sun. The matriarch's ears hang motionless, no longer twitching against the persistent irritation of the past. A hornbill investigates a skin fold, finding nothing but healthy, clean tissue to explore. The symbiotic bond remains, a quiet truce forged in the heat of the delta. Every movement of the matriarch is now fluid, devoid of the sharp, reactive spasms from before. The birds remain close, keeping watch as the matriarch enjoys this newfound comfort. She exhales a long, slow breath, a visible cloud of dust rising from her trunk. No parasites remain to cause the frantic, nervous energy that once defined her behavior. The hornbills shift positions, their red beaks contrasting sharply with the elephant's neutral gray. She rests, the silence of the delta underscoring the peace of this fleeting, vital alliance. The maintenance of health is a group effort, ensuring survival in the harsh, dry season. She stands as a monument of endurance, finally liberated from the burden of the pests. A final, calm moment of connection between the giant and her small, feathered companions. The V-shaped notch on her ear remains, now framed by clean, healthy gray skin. A red-billed hornbill perches on her tusk, preening its own wing feathers with rhythmic precision. The matriarch shifts her weight, her movements fluid and devoid of the previous constant twitching. High above, a second hornbill scans the horizon, its sharp eyes reflecting the arid delta landscape. The elephant lowers her trunk, grazing on the dry golden grass tips near the water's edge. The hornbills now forage on the ground, picking at insects disturbed by the elephant's steady pace. She stops to rest, letting the late afternoon sun warm her resilient, parasite-free hide. One bird cleans its beak against a stone, removing remnants of the morning's successful task. The matriarch's eyes remain half closed, a sign of total contentment in this quiet, open space. In the background, other elephants move through the heat haze, their silhouettes blurred by the distance. The hornbills congregate on a nearby branch, their red beaks glowing in the descending sun. She lifts her trunk to sense the air, testing the breeze for signs of distant moisture. Light shifts as the sun dips lower, painting the delta in deeper shades of amber and gold. The partnership remains, a silent, effective strategy for thriving in this unforgiving, arid environment. Survival in the delta relies on such alliances, where the smallest members safeguard the greatest.